breaking news.
This is Rhonda Malone with KRLC News, reporting on the current status of education in urban school districts across the state. With the recent grade reports for state schools, there appears to be an overwhelming amount of schools in low-income areas with failing grades. According to data from the state, one urban school district has over 30 schools with F grades. Clark City Schools spokesperson Terry Powell commented on recent data released by the state on failing grades within the district.
We feel that the formula used for grading the schools in our district is very biased.
The recent report released by the state has generated some concern for educators, parents, and community members. KRLC News spoke to Jerome Parker, a grandparent of 4 students enrolled in Clark City School District.
Somehow we have to reevaluate what and how we want our kids taught.
Clark County City School District has over 40,000 students. Last year it was reported that 93% of students that graduated were not ready for college.
I think it's a tragedy. I know that these kids are no different than kids all over the city, but I know it is the type of teachers who don't care, a school system that evidently cannot put up a curriculum by which they can relate to.
For the past 3 years, we have been trying to figure out a way that we can increase the graduation rate.
Walk across the stage with or without a diploma, and that seems to be okay. As a result, this community loses.
Although there has been some discrepancy with the way grades are calculated, the fact remains that urban school districts have a higher number of failing grades than districts in other rural and suburban areas across the state.
I think the absence of teachers caring. Most of them now want a salary. They care less whether or not the student grasp what's necessary for him to know they're going to be an adult that's worthwhile.
And if you'll check the record, many of our schools are improving. And we are hoping that the state would reconsider how they grade the school.
They hang out in the hallway. They do things that they should not do, but that's because nobody corrects them.
Now, we're doing the best we can, but we need the support of the state.
It's going to come together from the community. The community must begin to dictate the quality of education that our kids receive.
The state of education for Clark City School District continues to be a challenge. As the district and others like it face improving school grades, the future of education for African American children looks sad. Rhonda Malone, KRLC News. Wow, that was compelling information. At this time, I'd like to give our panelists an opportunity to discuss some of the things they noted in the video, as well as address our first question, which is, what are some of the major reasons African American children are failing in our public schools?
Rhonda, it's hard to get little Johnny to behave in the classroom when he is used to a whole different set of rules. Now, you just can't tell him to sit down and do his work in a nice way. He is not used to that. And when you speak softly and nice, he doesn't know that you mean business. He would continue to turn flips and bounce all over the classroom. Now, if you say, sit your butt down, and if you move, I will beat your...
No, that's right.
He will sit down and
Some folk got to deal with DHS on how to raise their kids. I wish my child would call DHS and they come to my house.
Well, they came to my house. My son lost his mind about a month ago. He got in my face and gonna tell me he wasn't gonna take out the trash. Then spun right around, told his mom to hurry up and get in the kitchen and cook, because he was gonna call DHS for child neglect. But you know what I did? I whooped his ass all over the place. It ain't no way I'm gonna let a 12-year-old boy talk crazy to me and mine.
Coach, the question is, what can we as a community do to help our children become more successful?
We beat their ass. We need to be allowed to do what we need to do without fear of DHS coming to our house talking about child abuse. We need to whoop them in school. Anytime they get out of line, we need to be allowed to do what we need to do. Now, it worked for me and it'll work for them. That'll stop all of this.
I don't think corporal corporal punishment is necessary.
Yeah, well then maybe you the problem. Maybe you need to go. With folks like you running our schools, no wonder they ain't learning nothing.
Can I finish my point, please?
What point? You are the problem. Yeah, you done got so busy trying to be like them folks in the suburbs, you done lost sight of what we really need to be doing.
I am trying to educate our children.
You can't educate nobody if you cannot control them. Now the whole philosophy behind curriculum and instruction don't make no sense if you can't control the class.
Can I finish my point, please?
Coach, please, let her finish her point.
Thank you. We should not have to beat our kids. We need to have more respect for them than that. What are we teaching them about their self-respect? There are several studies and research that demonstrated that corporal punishment not only lowers self-esteem, but increases hostility and just leads to more violence. The disciplinary school code of conduct has been established to make sure that every effort is taken to assure our students stay in school. And in-house suspension has proven to be very effective. Now, although out-of-school suspension is a last resort, it is a deterrent to make sure our kids stay in school and get adequate classroom instruction.
You see what I'm talking about? I rest my case.
Sooner or later, it comes to the point where the strategy no longer works. And when it don't, the police generally end up whooping kids' tails and locking them up. That's the big reason why we have so many of our young black males in juvenile detention in jail today. Now, I think when they took corporate punishments out of the schools, it really messed up our school system.
I agree with Principal Taylor.
Thank you.
Corporal punishment and punitive disciplinary strategies are not productive forms of discipline. Although there is a big debate about the pros and cons of corporal punishment, there is so much research out there that shows that parents and teachers should be able to educate their children on issues of discipline.
The kids are only mirrors of what they are exposed to on a daily basis. They're exposed to so many negative things in the home and the community. It is up to the school to create a positive environment for learning. See, parents do not give their kids the home training they need to be successful in school. Parents do not come to conferences. Parents do not help the kids with homeworks. Some parents don't talk to their kids. And these kids are raising themselves because the parents just sick of you.
All you do is blame the parent. Is that all you got? Parents ain't this, parents ain't that, parents don't do this. You don't know Miss Taylor. You don't know me. I work hard. I work 3 jobs to try to put food on the table for my 4 kids. I ain't got no help. It's just me. Me. My husband can't help me because he in jail and he gonna be there for 20 more years and I ain't mad at him. Because I know why he tried to rob that store. His pride was hurt. He been looking for a job for 6 months and couldn't find one. He knew we didn't have no food to eat. He knew our kids wasn't gonna have a Christmas. So he called himself trying to make a way for his family. I mean, he knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. But he tried to do something. Just like me. Just like me. I'm trying to feed my kids and keep a roof over their head. I ain't getting nothing but some food stamps and a school check for my kids. But when the lights get cut off, I gotta go beg and borrow and do whatever I need to do to make sure the food don't spoil in the refrigerator. That's what I do. And then I leave one job to go to the next one, and then I work on weekends. I love my kids. I love my kids. But I ain't got time to worry about them when y'all got teachers that can't even pronounce their name right. I mean, can't y'all teach them? Can't y'all teach them right? Whenever I get a chance, I come up to the school and all I hear is doing this, and Jamaica ain't doing that. I need help, Miss Taylor. I need help. It's only me. I can't do it all. I'm trying, Miss Taylor. You look at me. I said I'm trying. I just need some help. Can somebody just please just give me a little help? That's all I need is a little help, and I can take care of my own kids. I can do what I need to do. I just need help because I'm tired and I can't do it, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I just need some help from somebody somewhere. I just need some help. I want my babies to be successful. I just need some help for my babies. Get somebody. I know somebody that can help me with my babies. Please, Jesus. Help my babies. Lord God, help my babies.
It's all about the money. The district has to show that there's a need for more funding. Oh, they can fix it if they want to. I have seen where school districts have gone all out and put mega resources behind projects that they want to work. There have been new schools started that got all the support they needed and more to be successful. The new principal was allowed to start from scratch. Everyone from the custodian to the assistant principal had to reapply for their jobs. The principal was able to handpick out of the district anyone that would make the school a success. And it works.
Now, you're right about that, Reverend. I have seen that so many times, and that is just how they do.
On the other hand, if you really do not want something to work, you do not support it.
That's right.
Schools like that don't get the basic essentials that they need to be successful. Basic necessities like school supplies for low-income children, computers, printers, and copiers for teachers. Textbooks are all of a sudden not available. I know teachers who have had to come out of their pockets for copying paper, print cartridges, textbooks, just to try to do their jobs.
I know. You see, I have come out of my pocket many of times.
Like I said, the issue boils down to money.
That's right.
I am sure that the school districts are working on grants right now to justify how they need more money to support these low-income schools. They will eventually get the money, but most of it will not go towards our kids. It will probably go towards other schools who will find some reason to say that the money they got was mismanaged by mid-management administrators or the kids toward the new equipment. It will be some excuse. But you bet that many will benefit in the source of high-paying administrative salaries for the good old boys who do nothing or political paybacks to cronies who made sure the program failed by doing what they were told.
The current school system has everything in place. We have the monies from the federal government, the state and local philanthropists. What we need to do is present a plan to them, work together to improve our situation.
That's it. That is the same old thing again. Well, we got the city doctor down there talking about we need to start something and stick with it. And then we got the country preacher down there. He's preaching and quoting Einstein, talking about we gonna do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. That's insane. I believe everybody here done gone crazy.
We stick by them on a daily basis. We have organizations like 100 Black Males, Family and People Services, local fraternity and sorority chapters, the local NAACP, and other community organizations that provide support through tutoring, manpower programs, community activities, etc. The problem is that we're not allowed to sit at the table and decide what is best for our children. The superintendent and administrators at the main office usually make the decisions before we have an opportunity for input. In most cases, they come to us, let us know their plan, then ask for our input. We need to be involved at the very beginning.
But you know, I didn't have any of this stuff. My education was less than second class when it came to my high school. My first A in college, yeah, my only A in college came from a black history class that really helped me discover my miseducation.
Well,
Carter G. Woodson's Miseducation of the Negro became the guide for me to see why society didn't like me. While you sit here and bicker and fight, while I was considered to be LD instead of praised to be the king.
yeah.
I learned of my ancestry before slavery. I learned so much from the black man that taught the class, and that right there was a first for me. A black man.
Yes.
A black man. Teaching me. Not just another coach telling me how he can whoop my ass.
Yeah.
This professor, this black man that taught the class, actually taught me about my past and how people fought for me to be here. I wish Keontae was still around and maybe he could hear what we never knew to be true about our high school. How they didn't teach us about us. Things would've, things should've been different. I think that it's a shame that I learned in one semester than I did in my entire academic education. This professor, he told me that I could make it. Told me that I had to be smarter 3 times more than the others. He not only gave me the tools to gain the education, but gave me the drive to bring it back to my brother, so I've got to work hard. And I'm blowing off the 4 Ds. Because being behind is like a disease, a black plague.
Come on now.
A disease that I surely can't cure. So I wonder what you would do when it comes to the next generations of students like me. I hope that you teach them that our history is more than that of MLK, that our lack of knowledge does not deem us to be LD. At first, I didn't get it. But after hearing this conversation, I pause and make a proclamation that most black men like me may never earn a degree. And you, Miss Simmons, you say that the system is broke. So I can expect to be broke and choke on dope because a job for me will never set me free. See, my reason for being here came at a cost. But somehow doing this mix, my cause to exist got lost. But I've got to break the cycle because I ain't trying to be trifling. I got homies in jail, gang banging, on their way to hell, rest in peace. We have no say. But since y'all want to blame somebody, I'll give you somebody to blame. I blame you. You, and you too, y'all to blame. Because it was y'all's watch. Because we sit here and watch y'all with y'all fancy cars, big houses, good jobs, material things, and bling bling. Those are just simple things, y'all. Because let me tell you something. Systemized destruction says that we won't have quality teachers in the classroom. Systemized destruction says that I will play video games instead of doing my homework. Systemized destruction keeps us out in the streets and our parents at work. But if you love us, you would have made sure that we did our homework instead of playing video games. If you loved us, you would have made sure that we didn't skip out on our last 2 years of high school. If you loved us, you would have made sure that we had the books, the computers and equipment we needed to be successful. In the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Maya Angelou said, I'll rise, but how can I rise? You don't tell me who I am. How can I rise if you let teachers come into the classroom who don't understand how you are raising? How can I rise when you believe them when they tell you that I have a learning problem? How can I rise if you don't rise for me? So now what you gonna do? History don't mean jack. I mean, It's not much to expect if you have no self-respect to fight for the future. People like me, you have failed to tutor. How can I take care of you at the tender age of 22 trying to muddle through the madness that you created for? I know you have given up on some of us that look like you, but please, understand we need the kind of help that only you can teach. Even if you think that I'm a lost cause, don't forget my cousins. Help them learn to read so maybe, just maybe, they can stay up to speed before they end up like me. Just struggling to be free. Free from poverty's grip around my neck. A dramatic effect based on lack of respect.